We're 2 rounds down in the Sasol GTC Championship. It's been a thrilling season so far, and round 3 brings us to where we crowned our 2017 champion here in Gauteng. It's Zwartkops Raceway, and it's a spectacular day to go motor racing. There's a great crowd in the house. The drivers are having a pretty good time of it as well. Dunlop getting some new rubber ready to go for 2 action-packed races. Here's how the championship sits after a couple of rounds. We're 4 races in. It's Simon Moss and Gennaro Bonafide split by not much at all. At the top, the defending champ is in 3rd place. This guy leads the GTC 2 standings for the first time in his career. His name's Trevor Bland. He's got a 2-point margin over the defending champion in Keagan Masters, with Brad Liebenberg and Devon Robinson 3rd and 4th in the pair of minis. Speaking of Robinson, his weekend almost ended before it really even started. On Friday, he was off the road in a big way, caught on camera by Trevor Bland. It was an enormous job for the Signature Motorsport team to rebuild this car, but it means he'll get a fighting chance to go racing. He caught up with some sleep along the way. Qualifying, the Honda was fast again. It was 2nd last time out, 3rd here in the hands of Dane Angel. 2nd, Bradley Liebenberg, impressing in the Ferodo Mini with his best qualifying performance of the year. But his 3rd straight pole position of the season, Keagan Masters, was once again uncatchable in GTC 2. In Sasol GTC, Simon Moss threw everything he could at his teammate Michael Stephen. In the end, he fell short by 15 thousandths of a second. A brand new Zwartkops qualifying record for the double champion at the number 1 NGen Audi on pole position.
Dunlop pole position for round 3. Congratulations, Michael Stevens. Great to see you finally up the front.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling to be back on pole position. It's been a while. But yeah, a big thanks to the team. They did another great job. You know, 2nd 1-2 of the year for the team as well. So, you know, really happy to be on the front row, and hopefully we can convert that into a win.
And also impressive too that the cars are now 2 seconds faster than when we were here at the end of 2017.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. I mean, to go into the ones, you know, and I think to start with the cars, we started at 106s, you know, 2.5 years ago. So fantastic development, and, you know, the car is really great to drive, you know, when it's got this sort of power and that sort of speed. So looking forward to the race ahead.
All right, good luck from P1 and congratulations on R1,000. Thanks to Dunlop.
Yep, thanks Dunlop. We really appreciate it.
Keagan Masters, you're becoming a master at this qualifying session. Congratulations on your 3rd pole for the season. But you got a bit of competition from those minis this weekend here at Zwartkops.
Oh, thank you very much. Me and Bradley were exchanging lap times. I mean, on lap 2, I think I was pole, and yeah, I started cooling down the car. And then on the radio, I just heard that Bradley's now on pole with the dead. So I said, okay, I'll do one more lap. And they said, no, box, it's over now. You're not going to get your time. So I said, no, I think I can push a little bit harder. And luckily I did, and it's going to be a nice close race. But yeah, I know the minis are quick here, especially in the races as well. So we'll see.
So we're getting ready for the first race here at Zwartkops, the 5th of our season. That looks good. Send some up to the commentary box. It's a packed grid, full of colour and excitement. Johan Ferree had a couple of podium finishes here last year. Matt Hodges, meanwhile, goes from 6th on the grid. There's Michael Stephen. His teammate is down chatting to Philippa.
Simon Moss, you're currently leading the Sasol GTC Championship points, but if there's one person that wants to take that from you, it's your teammate right alongside you.
Yeah, Mark had a good qualifying lap. It's so close, it could have gone either way. A little error from me here and there, same from him. Ended up in his favour this time, last time was mine. But yeah, Mark's my teammate, so I've got to give a bit of caution. But he is also my competitor, so I think it'll be a very good race, and let's hope we can make it entertaining.
All right, good luck into turn 1.
Perfect, thanks.
Devon Robinson, it was unfortunate to see you have that nasty accident in practice, but firstly, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm 100%. The team worked through the night basically to get the car ready. Stupid move, but it's racing at the end of the day. The car seems decent. We missed quali because there was a problem with the accelerator pedal. It seems to be sorted now, so hopefully it's right for the race.
All right, at least you're okay. Good luck.
Thank you very much, man.
So here it is. We visited this circuit 3 times last season. The drivers know it very well. 2.4 Ks, an average lap speed of 140 kilometres an hour, and they're flat out for just under 60% of the lap. To take us around and get us closer to the action, here's Trevor Bland.
Hey guys, welcome to Zwartkops, round 3 of the Sasol GTC Championship. I'm Trevor Bland. Let me take you around Zwartkops for a few little tips on how to get a perfect lap. Heading into turn 1, a good corner to make up some decent time. You've got to carry a lot of speed into it. Make sure you get the car nice and settled. and get a good drive out, not running too wide on the exit. And then into turn 2 late on the brakes, a good overtaking opportunity, nice and wide, deep entry, and get good drive out. Make sure you get on the power nice and early. Critical to get awesome drive up all the way up the back straight through turn 3 and entering turn 4. Heading into turn 4, you've got to find your perfect braking points. Again, make sure you get good drive out, you get good drive up the hill. Make sure you get the apex nice and late, run all the way wide, use all the track. You pay for it, you might as well use it. And you go all the way up the hill, spot your braking point for turn 5. Again, not too late in the brakes because you want to get good drive out. You do all the track and late in the brakes into turn 6. It's a long, slow right-hander. Early on the throttle, as hard as you can, pedal to the metal, flat out through turn 7, down the hill, late in the brakes for turn 8. Make sure you hit the apex, don't run too hard on the exit onto the grass, doesn't help your lap. And that's a lap of Zwartkops.
Well, thank you very much, Trevor Bland. He'll be in the thick of the action in GTC 2. We've got quite the fight on our hands, folks, this weekend. It's round 3 of the championship, and things, as if they weren't already, getting really serious. That's why there's such a big crowd on hand. Here's how they line up. It's the engine Audis 1 and 2, the Sasol BMWs 3 and 4. Michael van Rooyen continues his good form with P5. Johan Ferrari with a job to do from 8th place, the back of the Sasol GTC grid. And there's the GTC 2 field, closer than it's ever been. Record times in qualifying in both classes this weekend. The pace hotter than ever in this championship. So the 5th race of our season. Who gets that all-important run into turn 1? Remember, Michael Stephen yet to win this season. He's been 3rd on 3 occasions so far, and he leads the field into turn 1. Good start for the defending champion. There's Daniel Rowe, full of confidence after a victory last time out. Brilliant victory at that, and an emotional one. Remember those scenes for a very long time from down there at Cape Town. The Mini in front in GTC 2. So that battle that's ebbed and flowed throughout the year between the factory Mini and the factory Volkswagens continues. Up to this tight right-hander. Fast up the back straight, over 210 k's an hour. And then they go up the hill and brake hard, and it's the key overtaking opportunity here at Zwartkops. Gennaro Bonifidi's got a view that he had once or twice last season. It's of those 2 Terry Moss racing cars in front. The engine Audis leading the way. Robbie Walker's in the mix, Van Rooyen just in behind him. This is Moss. See how hard they have to work early in these races, trying to generate tyre temperature in the Dunlop tyres. The more temperature you get, the more pressure you build in the tyres, the more grip they generate. Here's a replay. This is the run through turn 1, the braking zone for turn 2. Wow, Matt Hodges sends it around the long side. Need to buy a stamp, he sent it so far. That's huge. Big move. This was Adrian Wood in the thick of the action with the Mini going around the outside. So Devon Robinson, battered and bruised, but on the racetrack nonetheless. Great to see him making moves early, though that one didn't quite work out for him. He ended up losing all the spots he gained. Down the hill through turn 1. Robbie Wog with some smoke coming off the right rear of his Sasol BMW. He's copped some damage there, so contact on the opening lap has punched that bumper bar up into the Dunlop tyre. Race control will monitor that. The team as well cannot afford to have a cut tyre, especially with lots of right-hand corners at this venue. All the load goes onto the left-hand side of the car, so they'll just need to watch that. Here's Daniel Rowe. What an incredible story it was last time out at Killarney Raceway. Matt Hodges with that flying start has climbed up the order as well in car 57. Qualified 6th. Difficult year for Hodges so far in the second of the factory Volkswagens, looking for a improved and more consistent weekend this time out. Nothing between the leading 3. 3 different brands represented in the top 4. It's what we've come to recognise and love about the Sasol GTC Championship. This year more than ever, it is wide open. We've had 3 different winners in our opening 4 races so far this year. Whoa, big moment, Daniel Rowe. He keeps it out of the fence, but loses a lot of spots. All the hard work in the opening laps comes undone. Big slide. The car just broke away from him very quickly. Turn 1's a tricky corner here. It's downhill, looks a little bit off camber. Just had the tank slapper, so the front went, then the rear went even quicker. Very nice job to catch that and gather the car up, get it pointing in the right direction. He will live to fight another day, but the handling on that car doesn't look particularly good the opening couple of laps in race 1. Replay, Dane Angel gets a love tap from Adrian Wood in the Kia Sarah car. Robertson's back in the mix here as well. How about this racing in GTC 2? Well, I rolled that line out a couple of times last year, mainly because it was brilliant, extraordinary every weekend. That's a look from Adrian Wood, the first-year racer in this category. 2 leaders driving away. Bradley Liebenberg now in front of the defending champion Keagan Masters, who's been really strong so far this season, though consistency for Trevor Bland means that he leads the championship coming into this weekend. But Keagan has been the man to beat. 3 race victories, a couple of pole positions. Just that difficult weekend at Kyalami, the race 2 performance there cost him a lot of points, and that's what's helped Trevor Bland get up in front. Angel round the outside, big move, and it's a little bit too big. There was the lightest of little bit of contact there on the outside with the Ferodo Mini, and Angel goes off into the gravel trap. And I tell you what, he's done a very good job to drive that car out. The sand is deep here at Zwartkops, but he will live to fight another day. This impressive young guy with that Honda Civic Type R that gets better and better at every round. He is starting to become a regular contender. Speaking of regular contenders, here's 2 of them. Keagan just looks up the inside. He gets the nose down the inside of Liebenberg and gets very good drive out of the right-hander. And now they'll go wheel to wheel up the backstretch. It's not a straight so much, long, sweeping, flat-out curve. Driving the wheels off this car as he always does. And this will be a change of lead in GTC 2. Masters goes through, but Liebenberg's got another look. Brilliant run for the Ferodo Mini. Here he goes, up the inside. And he'll retake the spot. This is terrific stuff. Masters hangs on around the outside. It'll be big to do it there, and Liebenberg just squeezes him a little bit wide. Good, hard racing in GTC 2. Keagan got out on the dirt on the outside of the road there, cost him a little bit of momentum, allowed Liebenberg to hold on to the race lead. This is a compelling fight. Charles Smallberger, Trevor Bland, and Devon Robertson and Adrian Wood battling over the minor positions. The leaders driving away. Speaking of driving away, Engine Audi's doing that at the moment. Sensational team, double champions in this category of 1 and 2. And Simon Moss, who's driving with more verve and confidence than ever before, is continuing to apply the pressure to his champion teammate and a guy that's also his engineer. Bonafide, just a little bit off the pace. Couple of tenths down in qualifying, only 0.3 of a second behind pole position. Good qualifying performance for the 2 Sasol BMWs with Robert Walk qualifying alongside his teammate. Just doesn't quite have the race pace to go with these 2 cars at the moment. Here's Moss. He was a winner 2 times at this venue last year in the final round of the championship in horrendously wet conditions. He's backing that up in the dry this time out. He's had a very good run in his teammate here, so we'll see a little bit further up the road if he can send one up the inside. Bearing in mind Stephen yet to win this year, so he'll be very, very keen to break his duck. He'll be looking in his mirror. A little bit of a glance in the braking zone. They break later than 100 metres there for the right-hander. Still no sign of his teammate yet. That car is dancing around at the moment. You can see the correction on the steering wheel, countering the slide right on the limit, the grip these Dunlop tyres are offering up. It's a great drive, it's a great battle. And perhaps a couple of years ago, this might not have been the case. Simon Moss was learning and developing as a driver, but he's come of age. Fantastic success last time out at Kalani. He's the only double winner of the season so far. He won race 2 at Kyalami at the opening round of the championship in that extraordinary reverse grid race that we'll be talking about for a very, very long time. And for the first time in his career, leading the championship. Back on board, his fight for the lead in GTC 2, past the half race distance mark. These conditions, the tyres and brakes will be starting to feel the strain. A couple of heavy stops here, and in a 65 or 66 second lap in a GTC2 car, you're turning for a lot of that lap. You're only flat out for 56% of a lap here, so the brakes and tyres do a lot of work. Drama for Daniel Rowe, limping that car home. And I wonder if there's some handling issues there after that off early on, and remarkable job just to keep it out of the fence. The team at Volkswagen Motorsport watching on. They've got to be in good spirits there though after the success last time out. It's been hard to come by in their Sasol GTC career, but it seems like it's starting to pull together. Nathan's Motorsport running those cars now. An improved performance. Matt Hodges going along nicely too. Just a quick shot of Bob Neal there in the Ford Focus. He's in GTC2 for the remainder of the year. Great to see the variety in manufacturers in both categories, but GTC2 as well with the Honda strong. Speaking of, Dane Angel's about to be lapped by our two race leaders, the N-Gen Audis, threading the eye of the needle at the moment as they work their way through the GTC2 cars. This is part of this style of racing. You've got to manage your own race, and you've got to manage that of everyone around it. Bonafiti's about to get both of them in the braking zone. One on the left, one on the right. That's good stuff from Gennaro. And full credit to the GTC2 guys as well. They held their line. They didn't move out of the way. And that allowed Bonafiti to commit down the middle and maintain his pursuit of Team Black out in front. What a drive by these two. And Michael Stephen showing that great race-long pace. His consistency was such a hallmark of his championship campaign last year. Limping Volkswagen being passed by a flying Ferodo Mini of Bradley Liebenberg, who continues to lead this class, and Daniel Rowe does the right thing by his teammate Keagan Masters, who goes through. So he continues his in pursuit, but there's a little bit of a margin now for the Signature Motorsport car, so the Mini pulling away, looking for a victory. Brad Liebenberg was a winner in race 2 of the season back there at Kyalami Raceway. Second in the opening race. Pretty decent start to the year, but Kalani didn't go to plan for those cars. It's not been a strong circuit for the Signature Motorsport entries, and they were banking on a strong weekend here. Wasn't helped by a big off from Devon Robinson in practice earlier on in the weekend. Set that team back in a big repair job. Awesome effort just to get them on the racetrack. Simon Moss working hard. We've seen throughout the season so far that race 1 of every weekend this year has been really intense, pressure-filled, hard motor racing. They all tee off in race 2 when we get the reverse grid affair. We really look forward to that every weekend. This is just about setting the scene. There's the view from Daniel Rowe as the leaders blow by. Well, just a couple of weeks ago, he was the leader. He was the benchmark. But it really is important to finish race 1. I mentioned reverse grid. You get to the end, you get pole position for race 2. So it is vital that he gets that car home and is classified a finisher, because it means he'll get to the front of the grid for the reverse grid race. Michael Van Rooyen, the Rustenburg Rocket, continuing his strong form from this season so far. A couple of podium finishes. His qualifying pace has improved significantly too, and that was probably the big difference from last year, and they've fixed the reliability issues on the ROC car as well. Stephen down the inside of Adrian Wood, doing a good job on his debut. Bounced back last time out after a big crash at Kyalami. His form in Cape Town was pretty decent. Just a massive learning experience, learning from the best as well, I suppose, when your teammate is the reigning champion. Here's the view from Gennaro Bonafiti. His silky, smooth driving style, really accurate inputs from Gennaro, caresses the car into a corner, sliding around a little bit more at the end of the race. 12 hot laps here at Zwartkops, wearing those Dunlop tyres out, but he's doing what he can. Doesn't quite have the raw speed to go with these 2 cars, but he'll accumulate some points. Just continue to tick away. There are a couple of races in last year's championship that really cost Gennaro. There are races where he and the team probably feel that he could have scored when in fact he didn't score as many. This time out, every race has got to be a good one. If you can't win, finish second. If you can't get second, finish third. That's how you win championships. Bonafide is as big a contender this year as he ever has been. 1 lap to go for Michael Stephen. We've seen him in the lead of a lot of Sasol GTC races over the years. And this is just a little bit of a tense moment for him on the final 2.4 Ks. He's now amongst some of the leading contenders in GTC 2, and they're all fighting over their own spot on the race podium. Moss goes through Devon Robinson. Charles Smallberger just a little bit further up the field. There goes the engine Audi blowing by. And Simon very wide, just off the road, and collects it all up. That was a pretty hairy moment. The little 1%ers that can change these races. But Michael Stephen is Mr. 100% in this category. His form last year was outstanding. He's about to win his first race of the season. This a viewpoint a little bit further back. Close moment there with the Volkswagens running on the final lap here at Zwartkops Raceway. There's the battle for the lead in GTC 2. They won't get lapped by the outright cars. Here's Michael Stephen. He's not won yet this year. He will now. He'll become the 4th different winner from 5 races in a very competitive season. Michael Stephen gets his first win of 2018. And Simon Moss, we talked about championships. He's accumulating at every single instance. And now this is closed right back up. Bradley Liebenberg under serious heat from Keagan Masters. A final lap flurry in GTC 2. Up the back straight they go. It's uphill into the braking zone. One last roll of the dice perhaps for Keegs. He's sliding the car around. He's working it so very hard. Shocking day for both of the factory Volkswagen Jettas. Hodges limping around as well. So down they go. Liebenberg defending nicely. Positions his car beautifully there. There was nowhere that Keagan Masters could go. And Brad Liebenberg will win his 2nd race of the season if he can get through this final corner. They're coming up on Johan Ferree, who's limping the EPS Courier's car home. Here's Brad Liebenberg. A great victory. Signature Motorsport get a win. Keagan Masters continues his consistency and climbs ever closer to the championship lead. What a great race. Pressure cooker stuff all the way through in both classes. And there's 1st and 2nd in GTC 2. Out in front, it was a 1-2 result for the Engine Audis. Terry Moss, the team principal, will be very, very pleased with that. In an up and down season so far, they're really hitting their straps. These 2 cars set up beautifully. Great race pace and good form in qualifying as well. Stephen and Moss, 1 and 2. Bonafide and Walt next. Van Rooyen, Ferree, Hodges and Rowe. The Volkswagen struggled in race 1 at Zwartkops.
Michael Stephen, for someone sitting 3rd in the championship, that win is exactly what you needed to try and claw back some points.
Yeah, most definitely. Trouble start to the year, just been a bit unfortunate. But we've always showed good pace, and it's great to be back to winning ways. With a pole position and a race 1 win. So really chuffed. Also, for the team again, Simon 2nd. So it's a strong performance by us as a team, and looking forward to the reverse grid race.
Gennaro Bonafide, it's been a while since we saw you win a race, but I suppose with podium positions, it means more championship points collection.
Yeah, we had a tough Killarney, there's no doubt about it. And we knew coming into Zwartkops it would be tough again. P3 in qualifying, I think it was decent. I didn't have the best qualifying session, and then starting the race behind these 2 black cars is never easy. And we lost a bit of pace in the middle of the race, but yeah, P3 in the end.
You're always up there, but you're lacking something. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it may be just testing time. We had a great testing program before the first race, and it proved itself at Kyalami. We had lots of pace, but since then I don't think we've turned a wheel. So it's tough for sure, but we'll work on it for the next race.
All right, at least you're starting in front of those 2 black cars for race 2.
Yeah, we need to keep it that way.
In GTC 2, Brad Liebenberg edged out Keagan Masters in a great battle. Smallberger on the podium in 3rd. Bob Neal rounding out the finishes in the Ford Focus.
We're here with the Signature Motorsport guys. Brad Liebenberg, great to see you get a race win.
Yeah, I know, it's been a long time coming. I mean, after the first round in Kyalami, I was expecting a little bit more in Cape Town, but unfortunately it didn't go our way. But it's good to bounce back here at our home track. We knew the Mini was fast here, and starting last now, so we've got to work our way back through the pack, but looking forward to race 2.
And considering that your team had to rebuild the car overnight, Devon, well done on finishing 4th place.
Yeah, the car had absolutely awesome pace. I'd like to say thanks to champion Ferrero, Signature Motorsport for all the effort they put in. the car was great. Now for race 2.
Keagan Masters, not a race win this time, but a good battle with Brad Liebenberg. Talk us through the start.
The start was awful for me. Bradley got a good jump on me, but I started chasing him down, and we diced nicely. Good racing room, good racing. He gave me enough room for anywhere I went, so it was very good. We had lots of fun. But then sitting behind him, my brakes and my tyres, they started getting too hard, so I had to back down a little bit. So I started out braking myself because it just got way too hard. And then I backed off, and at the end, luckily we came back, but didn't have enough grip to pass him, so yeah.
All right, you're lining up alongside him for race 2, so you got another battle on your hands.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
Well, that result was enough to put Keagan Masters back in the lead of the GTC, 2 points, but the reverse grid race is next. His Volkswagen teammate Daniel Rowe on pole position. Can he stay in front long enough to bag another race victory just like at Killarney? Stay with us for more of Sasol GTC from Zwartkops Raceway.
It's been a roller coaster of a season for Volkswagen Motorsport's Daniel Rowe, experiencing the highest of highs.
From heartbreak to hero, Daniel Rowe is a winner in Sasol GTC.
And the most devastating of lows, all within a matter of months.
Big impact into Johan Ferrari and a lot of damage to the factory Volkswagen.
Please explain to me, I've worked so hard to do this.
You know, we came into Killarney, knowing that we can fight for victory. And then, we were on the back foot with all the unlucky events. So that again was just so frustrating. You need to try and get over it and try and clear your mindset somehow. You just need to try and move on, try and stay positive, and we got that win in Cape Town, which made the world difference, not just for me, but for the team.
Ever since the Port Elizabeth driver won the GTC2 title in 2016, he's been on a mission to prove his place, wanting to put behind the struggles of his first season in the Jetta last year and fight for that maiden victory that's eluded him all this time.
Walks under serious pressure. He's going to lose a spot. Rowe dives down the inside. Terrific move.
When I got to the lead and I pulled that little gap, I knew if I just kept it consistent, there was no chance they were going to catch us.
But the leader is a 24-year-old. He's from Port Elizabeth, and he's going to win his first GTC race. Killarney Raceway has delivered again.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even know it was the last lap. I came onto the pit straight, I saw everybody going crazy at the wall, and the flag was out, and then it all kicked in. So that's when all the emotions start. We had made it. It's an awesome feeling. I think it was just emotional because of the tough times we've had. And we didn't expect it to happen so soon, but it came together, and now we can push for more.
Yeah, it gives the team, it gives me the belief. But I've got to thank Graham and the team. It's been phenomenal.
Coming through the traditional ranks of karting and open wheelers, it was in Polo Cup that Daniel developed a mentorship with racing identity Graham Nathan, who's been instrumental in not just helping Daniel's career path to success, but the turnaround of Volkswagen Motorsport in 2018 with a full team restructure that is starting to pay off.
I just had to absorb, be like a sponge, absorb all the information that I can, all the knowledge. It was frustrating having the tough year that we did. Now we're in 2018, the team setup's different, more positive. We proved that Killarney, it was just an unlucky round, but Cape Town, I managed to do very well, and we just needed everything to come right.
Early dramas for Johan Ferrari. The EPS Couriers BMW had dramas in race 1 here at Zwartkops Raceway. With gear selection issues, they changed an actuator between races. It hasn't worked. He's got massive dramas and will go to pit lane. And unfortunately, from what would have been a front row start, the EPS BMW will not take to the grid here at Zwartkops Raceway. An action-packed field will, though, for this reverse grid affair. It's always exciting, and there's some serious contenders looking to add their name to the winners list in 2018. One of those who won last time out is a young guy called Daniel Rowe. He's down chatting to Philippa.
Daniel Rowe, after the highs of winning at Cape Town last round, there's a few issues happening this weekend. What happened in race 1?
We just struggled a bit. I got around the outside of Michael and he hit me into turn 1, so I just knocked the rear toe out a bit. and I think that was a result of me losing the rear late on in the race. And then I came back on, but we lost boost pressure, the boost pipe came off, so I just needed to circulate, try and get some points, but it's going to be tough to take a victory, but we're going to get the maximum points we can and then do some testing before East London.
All right, good luck into turn 1.
He's got form in these races now, having been a winner last time out. Great crowd here at Zwartkops. It's a cool spectator track. Lots of good vantage points around the venue for what should be another cracking race. We always look forward to these. So here we go. They roll away for the formation lap, and it's Daniel Rowe who will lead them down to turn 1. For Robbie Walk, it'll be a clear viewpoint because where Johan Ferree was supposed to be, he's not. So he's got a great sight as that field rattles down into the first corner. Here's the grid. Rowe and Ferree were supposed to be second. He's not. Van Rooyen third, Walk fourth, as we mentioned. Bonafide goes from P5. Simon Moss and Michael Stephen next. Matty Hodges with more dramas, not taking the start. Dane Angel's shown great form in the Honda this weekend. Let's see if he can mix things up at the front of the GTC 2 field. He starts alongside Bob Neal. Adrian Wood is there. Devon Robertson and Charles Smallberger share a row. Keagan Masters and Brad Liebenberg do it from the back in this one after putting on a great show in race 1. So here we go. Reverse grid race at Zwartkops Raceway. Daniel Rowe and Simon Moss, the winners in the reverse grid affair so far this year. Who gets it this time out? Clean start. Field runs into turn 1. There's Keagan Masters. How aggressive is he early? Simon Moss answering my own question because he is super aggressive. Looking around the outside, he was, and he's got one of the Sasol BMWs in Gennaro Bonafide. He's going to look at Robbie Walk as well. So this is that confidence we spoke about earlier on when we saw his brilliant drive to second place in race 1. Up the inside of Walk he goes. Bonafide follows him through. It's a battle between the teammates at the moment. Now Gennaro goes down the inside. This will be a big moment up here at the braking zone. Into the right hander they go. Bonafide's up the inside. Michael Stephen now on his teammate. Well, between the 4 cars, they've all swapped positions on this lap. You'd have to say it's advantage Sasol BMW at the moment. Vic Maharaj, the team boss down there, will be pretty pleased with Bonafide's progress forward. Moss now looking on his teammate, sends it down the inside in the final corner. Stephen hangs on the outside. Robert Walk's got the box seat watching on. And now Moss has got the best line for that run into turn 1. Does he commit? Does he go down the inside? He does. Stephen gives him racing room. Great stuff early on, but he's wide on the exit there at 1. Bit of a mistake. It opens the door for the champion. He goes through, and another positional change early. This is impressive stuff. They're putting on a show for the minor positions, but it is a great race. 4th and 5th places changed hands so many times in the opening lap and a half. And while all that was going on, Bonafide's gone, thank you very much. I'm going to cruise up the road. Fan club on the hill cheering on. We take a breath when we go back to GTC 2. We don't often say that because it's always wilder in this category. Trevor Bland. He's in the mix. He's got Adrian Wood and the Kia Sierra car just in front. Great start for Dane Angel in the Honda. Really impressive. We go on board with Keagan Masters. It's a cool fight between himself and Brad Liebenberg. Great respect shown between the pair of them. Didn't trade any paint. They were wheel to wheel and down to the final corner, and in the end it was the Mini that got the job done. So that's a look through the field. It gives you an idea of the margin that Angel's got. That Autohouse Angel sponsored car in the opening lap. Really good track position, and it's only helped by the fact that all these guys swapping positions between them a little bit further back. So the Universal Healthcare CompCare car of Trevor Bland is in the mix. He led the championship coming into the weekend. He surrendered the lead after race 1. He'll be looking to get it back in this one. Lap 3 of 12. The 2 N-Gen Audis line astern, just a little bit further down the field than they're accustomed to. You'll remember last year their incredible strike rate of carving their way through. Bonafide, long way back on Michael Van Rooyen. Has to get the hip and shoulder out like a rugby fend off there. He told the Rustenburg Rocket, I'm coming through. This is my corner. Little bit of a touch, but through Gennaro goes. Not much Van Rooyen can do about that. There was sort of half a car width there as they got to the corner. Gennaro was coming through the moment he committed on the brake pedal. And now Michael Stevens going to do the same. Through he goes. A little bit of a hip and shoulder on the outside there. Simon Moss will be the next one to line up and get that brilliant yellow and green car one position further back. Replay, GTC 2 action, side by side. Trevor Bland up the inside. Adrian Wood is there, and here's Devon Robinson. Got a good finish in the earlier race today, which was a great reward for his mechanics, and that was a positional change. So he's got himself now to third in GTC 2. You've got to wonder that they look in their mirrors, and in a sea of red in this category, they all see Keagan Masters coming in his blue Volkswagen, and he's just putting passes on. So that was a good move down the inside there at turn one. He continues his march forward. He's now fourth. His teammate in Sasol GTC is out in front. Daniel Rowe leading the way. He's got a good margin over Gennaro Bonafide. And we go back to that great fight now for third place. It's just got even better because Van Rooyen fighting back on Michael Steven. Unfortunately for MVR, it's going to open the door because Simon Moss saw the opportunity, strikes up the inside. Michael tried to do the right thing there. He was attacking. Steven was defending. It's worked though. It's worked brilliantly for Moss. He cruises through and gets another spot. It didn't go to plan for Michael Van Rooyen. Try and settle and commit. What's going on here? Look at this fight. Trevor Bland has got a Johannesburg traffic jam behind him, and down the inside goes Devon Robinson. Great pass. The reigning champion in the Volkswagen Polo Cup, which is becoming a great feeder category into GTC 2. He's fighting hard. It's just his fifth race with this team. He commits around the outside of the final corner. Very big move. He found traction where no one else did. Brilliant stuff. Goes through, grabs the spot. He needs to knuckle down now and try and chase down the Honda because Dane Angel's got an enormous margin by GTC 2 terms as Masters goes up the inside now, and TB finds himself back to fourth place. Might be fifth because Brad Liebenberg is buying into this one as well. Every time they go racing GTC 2, it's the most unpredictable thing that's ever happened. Incredible stuff, a great show. Change of tyre this year. They've gone to a Dunlop slick tyre, using a groove tyre last year, so the cars have got more grip. In some instances, that doesn't make the racing any better, but in this instance, it has. The cars can commit harder, they can brake better, they can turn in with more confidence like that, so they're more encouraged to make overtaking manoeuvres. That's what Brad Liebenberg's just done. So the Minis are going a-hunting, and they get another spot. Liebenberg, after a great victory earlier today, gets another position. So this is a good fight, but they really do need to go eyes forward now, and Keagan Masters, Devon Robinson need to work together to try and chase down the race leader because Dane Angel's got a big margin out in front. He's another driver looking for a breakthrough victory in the Sasol GTC Championship, and indeed in GTC 2. Van Rooyen just settled down after getting the short back and sides, and I'm not talking about a haircut in the last couple of laps. Certainly got to trim in positions in this race. He's fending off Robert Walk just behind him. We had a big moment here in season 2017. This race not going quite to plan, and he's got a side skirt hanging off that car. That will affect the aerodynamic performance. The wind blowing over the side. The Sasol BMW. Race Control will take a look at that as well. Don't want components flying off cars, endangering the other cars on the racetrack and spectators on the side, so they'll just keep an eye on that. They might force him to pit lane. Having said that, it might be okay. He might be able to continue on. I'll monitor it closely. At the moment, he's continuing to apply the pressure to the Rustenburg rocket. So the race has just settled down at the moment. Everyone just biding their time, conserving their tyres. Talked after race one about how hard they work at this racetrack. A lot of time spent braking and turning, so the tyres get hot quickly, the pressures come up and they start to slide around. The more the car slides, the more the tyre pressures come up, and the more the tyre temperature comes up. So it just compounds the problem. So there are times in races where you just need to take the foot off slightly. Just go a little bit conservative. Look after the car for a few laps so you can regroup and attack later in the motor race. Oh, Simon Moss again very wide on the exit of turn 1. He takes very wide exits to a lot of the corners here. Van Ryan's had a problem. We'll come back to that. He's off the road, up at turn 2, got the braking wrong there. The rear of the car wanted to break away to oversteer. He caught the slide, but by the time it was all said and done, Robert Walken cruised through. Back to GTC 2, down the inside. Keagan Masters, he's got another one. He goes past Devon Robertson. He's been fighting with minis all day. It was Brad Liebenberg in race 1. This time he's got the champion car. So he's now second. So it's lap 8 of 12. There's time for him to catch Dane Angel. We saw how he just conserved in the middle of the race earlier on today and then attacked at the end. Closed that margin down on Bradley Lieberberg and attacked him on the final lap. He won't want to leave it quite so late this time around. Let's go back to the front of the field. There's Daniel Rowe. He's got good margin over Gennaro Bonafide. Gennaro is starting to be reeled in now by these two. Michael Stephen running third and Simon Moss fourth. Through the gears they go. Long sweeper. Puts all the energy onto the left-hand side of the car. And another one here. It's a little bit slower. They go down a gear for it. And they accelerate again. And then this big break uphill. Lots of spectators watching on driver's left. Great amphitheatre-style racetrack is Zwartkops Raceway. We visited here 3 times last season. It really was the domain of the Engine Audi team. Michael Stephen with a couple of wins. Simon Moss with a few at the end of the season last year. Bonafide won the opening race at Zwartkops last season. It's the unofficial home of the Sasol GTC Championship. Lap 10 of 12, Daniel Rowe continues to lead. He's won once. Does it get easier? Is that actually a thing? Does that happen? Now he's got a victory under his belt. Does it all of a sudden become easier? Well, Keagan Masters thinks so, because he's done a lot of winning in his time in GTC 2, and now he's going to put one on Dane Angel. Well, sometimes you think it's Keagan Masters' world, and we're all just living in it, because he's gone from last to first again. Right from the very back of the GTC 2 field, which is as competitive as it has ever been. And he now leads the way. And Angel's being attacked already by the number 20 Mini of Devon Robinson. Liebenberg's got a great view here. In fact, it's a battle of 4 now for the race lead. And Keagan Masters will be hoping that Angel just holds the 2 Minis up, bottles them up in behind. There's the Sasol GTC leaders getting some lap traffic. Through Adrian Wood they go. Pretty courteous to Daniel Rowe, his teammate, who leads the way into the setting sun. Pretty hard to see anything down there with all the dust being kicked up down at turn 1, but Bonafide goes through. The 2 Audis will be next. Here's Liebenberg. So this moments ago, so Devon Robinson got through on Dane Angel, and Liebenberg followed him through. So in the same way that the 2 engine Audis are going hunting together, so too the Signature Motorsport Minis. And now they've only got Keagan Masters in front. Good racing, isn't it? Dane Angel should be proud of his performance, though, this weekend. He has slowly but surely developed that Honda Civic Type R into a genuine contender week in, week out in the GTC Championship. Oh, opportunistic. Charles Smallberger just gets up the inside. Oh, Bonafide, how about this? Busier than your average Monday workday. Up the inside and the outside at all at the same time. Threading the eye of the needle through traffic. The Sasol BMW goes through. I think he's actually pulled a little bit of a margin out of the race leader. So this whole sequence of getting through traffic has worked for Gennaro. He's just drawn ever closer to Daniel Rowe. He'll get by Dane Angel before they get to turn 1. It's hindered the Audis a little bit. Stephen's gone through, but Simon Moss has just lost touch a little bit. Gee, it's compelling. It's a short lap. Record times all weekend. Michael Stephen smashed the lap record in race 1 as he was driving away in the lead of the motor race. They're 4 seconds faster here than they were when they raced for the first time in 2016. 61 second lap times around this place is quick in any race car. Awesome performance in the Sasol GTC Championship. Rowe's on his final lap. He goes through Keagan Masters. This has been another really impressive drive. He's had Bonafide in close company the whole way through. He's done everything he needed to do. And after an incredible weekend last time out in Cape Town, an emotional weekend it was for Daniel Rowe. This young guy from Port Elizabeth, who's a winner, Charles Smallberger, saving his off to the final lap. That's going to hurt him a little bit. He'll drop some spots there. It's been a tough road for Daniel Rowe. He won last time out. He's going to do it again. This will be a performance that leaves his team super chuffed. Daniel Rowe out of the final corner. He's a winner for the second time in Sasol GTC. And it's double delight for that team because Keagan Masters goes from the back of the field to the front to win again in GTC 2, extending his championship lead in the process. Solid drive from Michael Stephen, follows Bonafide home. The 38 car of Simon Moss just in behind him. It's been another good championship collecting weekend for the young man in the second engine Audi. But how about Daniel Rowe? After all the trials and tribulations, he's now a two-time winner. Rowe and Bonafide and Stephen the podium. Moss, Walken, Van Rooyen next for Rian Hodges with difficult days here at Zwartkops. The championship, Simon Moss leads Bonafide now. It's a small margin though, and Michael Stephen, the defending champ, the two-time champ, is right in the mix. Michael Van Rooyen maintains fourth place.
Daniel Rowe, they say that once you won your first race, they get easier, but that was actually quite a tough race for you.
Yeah, no, that was very tough. And, you heard my talk to you before the race. I didn't expect to stay in front. I honestly thought that Gennaro and the Audis were gonna come. We struggled on the straights this weekend. Made a setup change for race 2. It was really good for the opening laps, which is obviously the idea. We tried to break away so they could fight behind. Towards the end I had extreme understeer. I was even shifting down to third and turn 4 just to get it to turn. And I saw Gennaro coming. He's had good pace all weekend, and I just managed to get through the traffic. Okay, he caught me a little bit, and then the traffic, was hard because I knew he might have, gained because of it, but just it was awesome to see that last lap come, and once again a pity that Matthew had to fall out. Just to the guys once again, Steve, Graham, Mike, Cam, and Wes, they put in all the effort, and just awesome feeling.
Well, congratulations on being a multiple race winner now.
It feels great, thank you.
Gennaro Bonafide, third place in race 1, second in race 2, at least you're improving.
Yeah, look, reverse grids are never easy, starting in 5th place. We had some good pace. Made a nice setup change into race 2, which I'm really happy about. It's a good positive step for us. And I think, a couple more laps. I think 4 laps from the end, I had a bit of gear shift problem out the last corner, and then I was back in the mix, and I thought, I've got to do all the hard work again to catch Daniel. But yeah, look, happy with that. A 3rd and a 2nd overall for the day. So good points for our championship.
Are you looking forward to heading to East London?
Yeah, nice and fast, and a lot of kahunis needed for East London.
All right, we'll see you there. Good luck.
Cool, thanks.
Well, we're really looking forward to the next round. Here's GTC 2, so Keagan Masters gets another win this year. Devon Robinson, a PB finish in 2nd. Brad Liebenberg 3rd. It's been a great weekend for the Signature Minis.
Keagan Masters, we're used to seeing you winning, but you had to work hard for that one.
Yeah, I know. It must have been definitely the hardest race of my life. The Minis made it hard, and all the other golfs made it hard. So, I can't describe this race. It was intense.
It was interesting to see Dane Angel up the front as well in the Honda.
Yeah, no, he was really quick. He got a gap on us, but I think he had issues with temperature, so he wasn't really quick on the straight. So I caught him so easily down the straight, and then basically did it for me.
All right, we'll see you in East London. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So the defending champion now on top of the standings for the first time this year in GTC 2, but it's competitive. Brad Liebenberg next. Trevor Bland drops from 1st to 3rd, but still very much in the game. Also impressing is Dane Angel. He's down in the pits talking to Philippa.
Usually we see Mini and Volkswagen lead the racing, but great to see you, Dane Angel, in the Honda up the front for the majority of race 2. Congratulations on 4th place.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was fantastic. Finally, the package has come together. Done a lot of development on the off-season. Got the car basically on pace, struggling with a few minor teething issues. But yeah, fantastic.
You had a bit of a gap over the rest of the field in the first half of the race. What was it like seeing Keagan Masters coming up in your rearview mirror?
Yeah, it's always daunting seeing Keagan in his blue golf car. He's exceptionally fast. But yeah, look, as a privateer racing, it's a factory teams. I'm very pleased with our performance, considering how long we've had the vehicle. The times we've improved from when we were here the last time, it's really fantastic, and it shows that all the guys behind the scenes have really been working hard.
Yeah, it's great to see you have so much pace in 2018, so we'll see you at East London.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
So celebrations at Zwartkops Raceway, and another win for Daniel Rowe, Volkswagen Motorsport, on top of the world at the moment. 3 different teams and 3 different brands represented on the podium. What will happen next time out, we'll find out June 15 to 16. The venue is the awesome East London Grand Prix circuit, the Eastern Cape. We're really looking forward to that. We'll see you next time, the Sasol GTC Championships.